Hello everyone, my name is Ansley. My book is The Origins of the Boxer Uprisings by Joseph Eshericks. My book covers the origins of the Boxer Rebellions written in 1987 based on his research done while in China. He uses primary sources he only obtained access to during his time at the University of Shandong in China in 1979. Furthermore, he obtained emeritus status as a professor and historian of modern Chinese history, emeritus meaning that even though he's retired, he is still honored with the title professor from his institution of work, the University of California. He focuses on the greater social aspects of how the rebellion managed to take root in China and focuses heavily on combating the theory that the Boxers originated from the White Lotus sect. He places heavy emphasis on the role of Shandong as a region in the Boxer Rebellion as well. His book caught my attention because of the way he structured his arguments. He claimed in his preface that he is rewriting the narrative based on the sources that he found, and that made me question as a historian if he was able to achieve his goal. Likewise, he maintains a high level of respect from the University of California, which made me wonder how his claims had actually changed the historical narrative regarding the Boxer Uprising. Eshericks argues a few key aspects regarding the Boxer movement. Firstly, he argues against other historians that the Boxer movement was consistently loyal to the Qing dynastic government and that there was not a period of transformation within the movement. He also argues that while the Boxers and some sectarian groups like the White Lotus group had similar actions and characteristics, the Boxers had no official ties or connections with those groups. These themselves were unique theories that had not been previously explored. He supports his claims of primary source material, including oral historical narratives collected by Shandong University. Other historians had a different focus on the Boxer Rebellion when it came to their written works. Diana Preston, in her book, The Boxer Rebellion, the dramatic war on China's foreigners that shook the world in summer 1900, was written about 10 years after Eshericks' work, and she even cited his work. She focused more heavily on the story of the war itself, with a minor focus on the events leading up to the conflict. She built her arguments off of concepts and arguments Eshericks had previously made, meaning his work, even years after its publication, is held in high regard. She goes into great detail about how the Boxers and foreigners interacted during the conflict, whereas Eshericks mainly focused on how the conflict came to fruition and who the Boxers were. La Xinxiang, a Chinese author who wrote her book, The Origins of the Boxer War, a multinational study, more aligned with the questions Eshericks tried to answer himself. She argues that he did not do a thorough analysis and likewise left out crucial information since he based his source material only on Shandong. She argues against many points of Eshericks, even in the endnotes, claiming other reasons that the Boxers made decisions and supported the people that they did. Her opinion rests that Eshericks is not wrong in his interpretations, but his interpretations are far too narrow and need more. Considering the majority of its primary source material originates from Shandong University's School of Boxer Studies, his less broad interpretations are easily explained. He focuses more on a specific region and then uses that region to generalize the entire movement as a case study. The book reviews I found praise Eshericks for his revisionist approach to the Boxer Uprising. Philip Kuhn argues his opinion that Eshericks wrote one of the best social history perspectives of the Boxer Uprising. Michael Godley argues from a similar perspective that Eshericks' work was a high caliber and a unique approach to the Boxer movement. However, Kuhn also asserts that there are flaws in Eshericks' work, particularly the lack of acknowledgement of certain biases. He points out that one claim Eshericks makes about racism from a German missionary came from a memoir written well after the conclusion of the Boxer movement. It was possibly skewed by the missionary's colleague being murdered in front of him by the Boxers. Eshericks asserts that the missionary felt racism from the moment they arrived in China, which is therefore slightly skewed by the source because the source was looking back on memories and not written during the event. Even Godley, who had a high level of praise for Eshericks, noted that Eshericks did not meet several interpretations and standards of most European social historians. Overall, both Godley and Kuhn acknowledge that Eshericks argues his case fairly well, but has several errors in his analysis, as well as how he approaches social history. Eshericks' work, especially based on when it was written and published, was fairly revolutionary. However, Kuhn's arguments of possible skewed and biased information still hold true. Eshericks' book is worth the read for those looking to study the social dynamics of the Boxer Rebellion. However, acknowledging where his source material comes from and the biases that result from that is imperative when interpreting and utilizing his work. Thank you.